Hello you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since I have filmed and I have seen you guys. I'm very excited to be sitting down and doing this drugstore lip product video. We're going to be talking all about the brand new drugstore lip products and if I think they're worth you picking up. Sometimes these are more catered towards the summer, so we're going to be talking about if I think these are going to be worth it to pick up during the summertime, because personally for me, my prerequisites for a lip product is that they're easy, they're no fuss. They're something that I can just chuck into my bag. Really, that's all year round though, let's be honest. But especially in the summer when I don't want to be fussing with any of my makeup. So if you guys are interested, then let's get started. So I want to preface and let you guys know that this is going to kind of be like a first impression. And in the future, I will be revisiting all of these products and letting you know my last thoughts on them, like my final thoughts once I've used these enough times, because I've only used these products maybe 1 to 2 times if I've used them before. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've tried all of them. So I've only tried it like 1 or 2 times, to be honest. So let's start off with one that I think most people are very excited about, the brand new e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balms. I picked up the shades Vanilla Toffee and Yummy Gummy. These people are saying that they're supposed to be very similar to the Summer Fridays lip balms. I have a lot of experience with those, so I'm gonna be putting these on today. I like these shades. I'm really happy with the shades that e.l.f. came out with. I think they covered a good range of shades. So these come in 6 shades. They retail for $9. I picked mine up at Ulta. So let's try the shade Vanilla Toffee. I've only used this to top lip colors, actually, not alone. It says that these have a slick, buttery moisture feeling. They're buildable with a tint and an addictive glossy finish. That is really, really nice. It does have that plastic applicator, that soft plastic applicator. It doesn't have too much of a curve. I think that this shade itself is very beautiful. This one does have a little bit of a butterscotch caramel scent to it, like a vanilla butterscotch, I guess. Well, vanilla toffee probably is what they're going for. It smells very good, very gourmand, and the shade I think is super beautiful, and it is a perfect warm nude, really. I mean, it's kind of the perfect brown nude on me. I really like the way that it kind of deepened. I was a little afraid that this was going to be more of a milky nude, but this is beautiful. These types of shades usually really warm up my entire complexion, so I look quite tan. So in that respect, I think in the summertime, it'll kind of complement whatever tan I have going on. These are actually filled quite a lot, so I can see it with my studio lights. It's filled up about to here. So you get this much product. And of course, when it comes to packaging, they do have to follow specific rules and have X amount of air and whatever. I'm not an expert on that, but as a consumer, I think that this is not super filled with air. I think that it squeezed out a ton of product, and I feel like this is very cushiony and comfortable. The amount of pigmentation on this is quite high, I would say, for a lip balm. This would be on the higher end. For me, I would compare this in pigmentation to Naturium. I feel like Naturium has a very high pigmentation level. I actually feel like it might be a little bit more pigmented than the Summer Fridays ones. So I just pulled out my Summer Fridays Vanilla Beige lip balm so we can see pigmentation-wise where we're sitting in comparison. So I'm just going to kind of rub that in the same way that you would rub it onto the lips, because I feel like that's going to be a more accurate representation. And then we're going to take the e.l.f. one and do the same exact thing, just rub it on the back of my hand, and you can already tell. Can you see that? There's definitely a high pigment load right there. So this is e.l.f., this is Summer Fridays. You can see that the e.l.f. is definitely more even in pigmentation and just higher pigmentation in general, while you have a lot of the hydration from the Summer Fridays ones. I will say that the Summer Fridays lip balms do come off very pigmented already on the lips. So in that case, if you do find that's enough pigmentation for you, you'll either have to go in with a very light hand with these, or it's just going to be too much, you know. Now, in terms of the shine, I do think that this is quite shiny. It's giving me lip gloss vibes when it comes to a lip balm. I like that. I think that's really nice. I think a 2-in-1 lip balm, lip gloss, actually a 3-in-1 lipstick or lip color. Out of curiosity, since I just put that on, let's put on the Summer Fridays one. Oh, it tastes very sweet too. I'm getting a lot of that sweetness. Let me put this on so I can feel the texture difference. Summer Fridays feels thinner. Not in a bad way though. It still feels very hydrating. I will say that throughout the years of having Summer Fridays, I have noticed that I'm kind of leaning towards wanting a thicker, more plush lip balm. And the Summer Fridays ones for me, in my like standards, is a little bit thinner, like on the thinner side. So this isn't going to be the first one I reach for if I'm looking for hydration. It still does feel very comfortable, cushiony, a little buttery. The nice thing about this, even though it's thicker, it's not sticky. It does have that same slip to it. So if you want something a little bit more subdued, Summer Fridays, and if you want something a little bit higher pigment and slightly more buttery, then the e.l.f. one is a really good way to go. And while we're here, let's go ahead and swatch Yummy Gummy. I have been really loving my berries and my purples lately, you guys. I don't feel like they're the most summery ones, you know? I was trying to do this, summery ones, but I think that they really complement my complexion, and this one smells like gummy bears or grape. I found out that the Laneige one, the gummy bear one, I think is grape. Why don't they just call it grape? Marketing. I think that because this is a deeper shade, it is a little bit tougher to get the pigmentation to come out evenly, but you can see I kind of like worked it into the lips and I got it to be quite even. This one doesn't seem as pigmented, I think because I used less to make sure that the pigment is actually not splotchy or anything like that, but we can go ahead and build it up just to see. This smells so good. Oh my gosh, I love the smell of this one. I'm trying to get more. It's getting a little goopy because I'm using quite a lot here. You see that, like on the corners? This isn't how much I would normally wear. I'm just trying to show you guys how much pigment we can get out of this. This feels like too much. Like the amount that I just used feels like a lot. So for this one, because it is deeper in tone, I am finding that it is pulling a little bit of the pigmentation in one area. So I would advise if you're going for a deeper tone or something that looks deeper on your complexion, definitely make sure that you kind of rub this in really well if you want it to look the best. But this is Yummy Gummy Built Up. Personally, I love this one a little bit more subtle, and I just like this one in general. I think this one looks so good. These so far are a plus for me. They're very nice. Next we have Cocokind. Now I don't know when these actually released, but I know that they recently made it their way to Ulta. So for me, this is a newer product, and I think for a lot of people that didn't want to purchase them online, this is going to be newer because you can pick it up in stores. There are 5 different shades, one of them being clear. These retail for $11.99. They have this little keychain hook thing that I think is really cute. And this formulation is focused on ceramides and peptides. It's supposed to be a nourishing lip balm that locks in hydration and blurs the lips for a fuller, plump look. Now, something that does make this stand out is it's designed for sensitive lips, as a lot of Cocokind products are. They're made for sensitive skin. So this one has no flavors, no scents, and no common irritants to it. So if you find that other lip balms can kind of like make your lips bumpy or just generally irritate them, this might be a really good solution for you. So I did pick up the shade Be Bold, and this is going to be more of that berry tone. I was debating between this one and the more nudie shade, but I did go with this. Now this also has that like soft touch silicone-y thing, but this one does have a little bit more of a curve here, and it's a little bit stiffer. So I mean, personal preference, you know, if you like that. I was about to sniff it even though I just said it's fragrance free. So naturally, because this is a deeper shade, I am going to have to work to blend this in a little bit more. So this actually feels less slick, but just as hydrating as the e.l.f. one, if that makes sense. So this feels like it has a little bit more grip to the lips, like it's sticking closer to the lips versus being a little bit more slippery. I think that the texture of this is somewhere between the Naturium and a little bit like very, very slightly reminding me of the Oola, but not as thick and pudding-like. I feel like those are definitely on the higher end of thickness. This one just has the same amount of grip if you were to use a tiny amount of the Ole Henriksen one before it gets very pudding-like and smooth or slick, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Now this one I think is a little bit more sheer than the e.l.f. one, which if you don't like high pigmentation load when it comes to your lip balms, this might be a good option for you. I did find that blending this berry in was a lot easier than blending the e.l.f. one in because that pigment load is a little bit less. I think that this one actually feels more hydrating. Like this one feels closer to your traditional lip balm where you would go for it if you're looking for hydration, not necessarily color. I think it's an added bonus that you have the pigmentation on this. Not as glossy, but again, I think that the approach that they were going for with this one is a glossy lip balm versus a balmy lip gloss. You know? Oh, so this says it's specifically designed to support the lip's thinner skin barrier, cushiony formula comforts and conditions, and it blurs the look of fine lines and gives lips a plump, full look. Are my lip lines blurred? So it's not sinking into my lip lines, but I wouldn't necessarily say they look blurred. This is nice. It seems like a very no-fuss type of lip balm if you're looking for something mainly for hydration and for skin support or lip skin support. This would be a good option for you. And again, if you do find that your lips do get irritated by other lip formulas, I think that this one would be a really good one on the market currently for you to get that color, get that hydration without having that added irritant. Now we have the Saltair Lip Oil Balm. So these retail for $9 and they come in 5 shades, including a clear one as well. And again, Saltair recently has released in Ulta, so now they're in store. I think previously the lip balms were only online. Maybe they were also available at Target, but I'm not quite sure because I haven't been to Target in a while. So this one is in the shade Toasted. I don't know if I already said that. And because this is a lip oil balm, they claim that this is a slippy, cushiony balm that feels like it nourishes and hydrates dry lips with a subtle sheen. And it also says it has a coconut vanilla flavor. It has coconut oil, plant-derived esters, murumuru butter, and shea butter. I love a lip balm that has shea butter. Typically, those are some of my favorite ones. At first, it just smells like vanilla, but then the coconut kind of follows through at the end. That's really nice. So this is just a plasticky applicator. You can see I already tried this one. It's been like a week or two though since I've tried it, so I don't really remember what I think about it. So I'm just gonna squeeze some out. I like this color though. It's a little bit deeper than Vanilla Toffee from e.l.f., but you may like that more. That smells so good. Oh, I like that. That's really pretty. This looks like a lip combo that I would wear. Except it's one lip balm. Definitely slippery, so the oil portion of that is coming through. But similarly to the Cocokind, it feels like it sits closer on the lips, so it feels like it's gripping the lips more than maybe the e.l.f. one does. It tastes sweet. It has a little bit of a scent or a flavor to it. It smells very strong. Out of all of them, well, obviously the Cocokind was fragrance free, but out of the two so far, this one is the one that has a stronger scent. So if scents irritate you, beware about that. This looks really pretty. On a scale of sheen, I would say it kind of ranks like this. So e.l.f. first, and then Saltair, and then Cocokind when it comes to the gloss. As far as the hydration goes, I would say Cocokind feels the most like thick hydration, then Saltair, and then e.l.f. But this color is really pretty. I kind of thought that this was going to be a little bit lighter just based on the outside packaging, as well as the swatches online actually. Oh, maybe not. No, it's pretty dark online too, but I like this shade. It may be a little bit dark for me currently, like for something that I would want to wear on a daily basis. I think that maybe if I use a smaller amount, but then that also means that there's going to be less sheen. So keep that in mind if you're looking for something very glossy with a lot of pigmentation. Okay, I just blotted off the majority of it just to see or show you guys kind of how I think I would wear this on a daily basis. So I honestly feel like I only have to go in with a little bit to feel that hydration that I want from a lip balm. Yeah, I would probably just wear it like this, to be honest. And you can still see a little bit of shine. Now, it's not going to be like a lip gloss type of shine at this point. If I wanted it to be that, then I probably wouldn't reach for this one. I actually feel like I would probably reach for this more than I would reach for the Summer Fridays one, just because this feels like this one's going to stay on the lips a little bit longer. I find that Summer Fridays doesn't last extremely long on my lips because it has a little bit more of that slip to it. But this one I actually feel like is, like I said, gripping better. So because of that, I feel like it's going to last longer on my lips. Definitely still smelling that coconut vanilla though. And it's the one that has lingered the most so far. Okay, we are now getting into the Maybelline Glaze, and I actually have a good handful of these. So I just posted a reel, a short, and a TikTok on these. So if you want, you can go and watch that. I will link it down below for you. These are really nice. So these are a lip oil balm as well. These retail for $8.99. So I think that this one is going to be on the lower end of pricing. There are 10 shades currently, and it says that these are formulated with hyaluronic acid and acerola cherry. It says that they're supposed to hydrate the lips for up to 24 hours, have a smooth look and ultra comfortable feel, and have a glazed effect on the lips. So Berry Haze I actually picked up after doing that short video, like trying them. They kind of smell like Play-Doh. They have that like lipstick, drugstore lipstick Play-Doh scent to it, but it kind of smells like they tried to add a little bit of a sweet scent to it as well on top. But mainly I get a little bit Play-Doh, so keep that in mind if that bothers you. So these are nice because when you first initially touch them to the lips, they have that same tug that a regular like the twist up chapstick type of lip balms have. So it has a little bit of tug, and then once it starts melting onto the lips, they really glide very nicely. But I kind of like that about them because, like I've mentioned in previous videos, when glossy balms are too glossy and they kind of slip off and melt off chunks of it, that bothers me more than if I have to work a little harder to get my lip product onto my lips like this one. But you can see I'm like really building this up, and it only deposits so much color at one time. So don't think that this is going to be, I don't know, like a lipstick with gloss to it. It definitely feels like a lip balm. They have a little bit of slickness, but not too much. These are not going to be the highest gloss look to them. Would I describe this as a glaze? I don't know. I kind of would. I mean, it's not dripping off the lips is what I'm trying to say, but you still have that hydrated look. It almost looks like a satin lipstick with a little extra hydration. You know what I mean? They really remind me of the Fenty Beauty Slip Shines. I don't know if those are discontinued, but I love those so much. They're comfortable, but these I think are a little bit thicker and a little bit more hydrating, whereas those Fenty ones definitely felt very thin on the lips and mainly gave you like an oil feel versus a balmy feel. I was reapplying this all day yesterday. Not because I had to, but because I kind of wanted to. I was eating and it would kind of fade, so it's not super long wearing, and I would just reapply a little bit. So easy, no fuss. Those are my absolute favorite type of lip products, especially in the summertime, like I mentioned. These, I think I would categorize this as blurring the lip lines though, because when you get the pigmentation on there and you get a good amount on there, if you look at the lips, they definitely look a little plumper because the lip lines are kind of filled in and the pigmentation isn't sinking into the lines. I really quite enjoy these. I think that these are absolutely fabulous, and they are a little bulky. I mean, Maybelline packaging in general is quite bulky, so keep that in mind. I kind of wish that they did a slimmer tube, but at the same time, I look at this and I'm like, oh, that's a Maybelline product. Like, you can kind of clock it. I really like the shade Latte Crush. This shade in Berry Haze is very beautiful, and actually the shade in Acai Glaze is super nice because it's more of that purpley berry than that red berry, if you know what I mean. Sometimes berries can pull a little too red on me and then it turns me off, but this one on my lips definitely looks purple and I like that a lot. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the center so I can show you guys. How fun. Little ombre look right there. And I would say these are slightly oily, which is nice, but it still preserves that balm texture more than anything. Oh, and they kind of stain the lips, which I don't know if that's intentional, but I noticed yesterday that it definitely stained the lips, and you guys can see right here, it stained my lips. Okay, next we have the only matte products in this video. They are the brand new About Face Blurred Matte Lip Plumps, and I didn't realize that these were new when I first saw them at Ulta because the packaging looks exactly like their lip glosses. I just thought that they finally came out with a display of the lip glosses, but these are blurred mattes, and these really remind me of Asian Beauty lip products because they have that moussey texture to them that a lot of Asian lip products have. Think like the Fui pudding pots, very similar to that. Or the, is it Etude or Romand? I know that they all have some sort of blurred, moussey-like texture lip product. These are pretty much that with Western colors, I would say. I mean, you can definitely find those in Asian beauty, but now it's a little bit more readily available to us here in the US. So these are going to be the most expensive of the bunch. It's $18. There's 6 different shades, and it says that these are a unique, creamy, soft matte lip color that helps to moisturize and plump your pout for a fuller look. It's infused with ingredients that help lips feel smoother. When I first put these on, they felt a little minty, and that really surprised me. I didn't expect that at all. It says that these are packed with powerful pigments that don't dry down or disappear, but endure throughout the day for buildable plush coverage that lasts. That's interesting that it says that it doesn't dry down, but the color lasts. I think what they're kind of getting at there is that this tends to fade and stain into the lips in a natural way, where it doesn't just disappear off the lips like a regular lip balm or a lip gloss would. So this does have a little bit of a slant to it. Actually, I really like this applicator. I think it's very nice and subtle. I like how it's still long. The curve isn't too curvy, so you still have a good amount of control with this one. This is in the shade Side Eye, and let me just apply this all over the lips. So it does have an extremely moussey texture. I don't think it has a scent, and you can see that you can really control exactly where this goes. The doe foot is not flimsy whatsoever. You can kind of draw this on where you want it to, and I feel the plumping tingly feeling. It's not intense, but it's not just a minty cooling feeling, you know. You can feel a little bit of that plumping. It feels like a thick moussey texture. So this is the shade Side Eye. I think alone it doesn't really suit me. Like, I wouldn't wear this alone, but with a darker lip liner or maybe topping this with something else, it would definitely be more my style. Now, something interesting about this that the Fui pudding pots do not do is these don't dry down. As you can see, there's a little bit of sheen to them, so it doesn't dry down like a regular liquid lipstick does, and I actually really like that. If I had to compare this to something that I think most people would be familiar with, I think the NYX lip creams would be similar, except this has higher pigmentation and much more even coverage. The lip creams from NYX are a little bit patchy for me, and they never, I don't know, they never actually settle down onto the lips. It kind of feels like if I push my lips together at any given moment wearing those, it'll move the pigmentation around. Whereas this one, after a couple minutes, it really does just stay put, which I think is really nice. And if you're looking for something that's going to be more long wearing than like a lip gloss or lip balm, but a little less fussy than a liquid lipstick or really a bullet lipstick that dries down matte, this is a really nice Goldilocks in between type of product. I actually think that this looks very, very nice. I like the finish of this a lot. And as I'm removing it, you can see it's definitely staining the lips here. So that's probably where that whole claim of it being long wearing and staying put comes into play. It's still there, but I think in terms of it fading, it fades evenly and slowly. So the next shade that I have is the shade Opulent, and I saw this and I was like, I feel like that one blotted with this type of formula is going to be gorgeous. So let's do this. I'm taking it on its side. I'm not taking the wide part of it where it's curved. I'm just doing this thing. Look how even that is. That is even. It's plushy. I'm gonna wipe off most of the product and just utilize this doe foot to move the product around that I already have on my lips. How freaking beautiful. This looks like a gorgeous blotted lived in red lip. These are the kinds that I typically will go towards these days. I don't like a super punchy, very in your face type of red lip, mainly because I don't really have occasions where I feel like I would want to wear them too, but this is making me want to wear this every day. But this is making me want to wear this every day. It's so pretty. These are actually so comfortable. I would say out of the blurred lip products that I've tried in the recent, I don't know, like year, these are definitely standing out in terms of it feeling comfortable, and I feel like these are going to wear on the lips very nicely because, again, you can see that it does have that blurred matte effect, but if you really look at it, There's still a little hint of sheen there, which I think is the hydration, which I think is lending it to be so comfortable on the lips. I could go without the plumping and the cooling feeling, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me. I think it's just an added like, ooh, this also plumps the lips, by the way. I don't think they need it. I think that these are fine the way that they are, but it's such a shame. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about these, and I think it's because not a lot of people know about these since they look pretty much like the lip gloss. Okay, lastly, the little bonus product that I wanted to talk about is the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. These Glimmer finishes. So I think do I have one? I don't know if I even own one. Well, now I do. This is in the shade Opalology Tour. And I just received this at the YouTube summit that I attended at New York at the beginning of May. And in the e.l.f. area, they were like doing makeup touch-ups and stuff. And I went and I sat and I got my makeup like touched up and done. And the e.l.f. makeup artist actually put this on top of my lip color. I would have never thought to put this on. It was absolutely gorgeous. So it's in this grayish silver base, and then it has flecks of like blue and green glimmer in there, and it's so beautiful. I don't know if it'll go with this red lip. Maybe this wasn't the right lip formula to put this on top of. Hold on, let me redo this. I feel like it's just moving around, you know? I'm going to take this e.l.f. lip liner. It says on the cap that this is the shade Baddest Beige, but if you guys know, I mixed up all of these caps, so I have no idea. Like, I can't be 100%. Okay, I did everything except for the center. And now we're going to take this lip oil and apply this. Oh, do you see that? Stop it. So stinking pretty. Now I do find that these lip oils are not the most glossy hydrating type of thing. They just add a little subtle sheen to the lips. And I feel like the glitter ones are a little bit less glossy than just the cream finishes too. Now you can definitely feel the glitter in this, but I think that this, being what it is definitely for that aesthetic. Like, it's definitely if you're looking for a glitter finish, a fun, different like finish. But look at that. It looks wearable still, but then when you really look at it, you can see that glimmer. Oh, okay. I do have a glitter finish though. I talked about it in my last like drugstore lip video back in January, and it's the brown one. I really like that one. It's very similar to the Fenty Hot Chocolate Lip Balm, Gloss Balm. This is a good one. This is a fun one. And I think if you're just experimenting, or if it's something that you don't think you're going to reach for a lot, then this is really great because these are not super expensive. They're really easy to just like grab at the store and not even think about, which could be a bad thing. But this one gets my stamp of approval because I was looking at it and I was like, girl, I don't know how to feel about that one. But then, I mean, I love it. Okay, you guys, so those are all of my thoughts on the most recent releases for the drugstore lip products. I think they're all really good. It just depends on what you are looking for, and hopefully I gave you guys enough information so that you can make a good decision on which one is going to be right for you. So to give you a little tiny bit of like a summary, these high shine, a lot of pigmentation, definitely more aesthetic. It's not going to be the most hydrating. When it comes to the most hydrating, I will say Cocokind wins there. More grippy, sits close on the lips. It does have some good pigmentation, but it's going to be on the lower end of pigmentation when comparing it to the other lip balms in this video. As far as Saltair, this one as well feels very nice and hydrating. Very strong scent though, so beware of that. Nice pigmentation, and I would say that if you like the Naturium lip balms, this one would be something that I think will be right up your alley. The Maybelline Glaze, fun, easy lip colors to just chuck in your purse to reapply all day. Does leave a very subtle stain, so if you like that, then this will be really nice for you. These are going to be the perfect product for you if you're really into that blurred matte plushy look. I love the applicator on it. I like how stiff it is, but it also has a little bit of a curve to it. I think that that is just genius. You get so much control, which I think is important when you're working with more of that blurred, plushy, kind of moussey-like texture. I could go without that plumping, minty, cooling feeling. I don't really know long-term how that's going to affect the lips, if it's actually going to plump. I don't know if I think that it made my lips look any more plump than they already are. Who's to say? But that information is there for you in case that is something that is important to you. But a con that I just thought about is that these are like, what I said, like $18, and I know that you can find a lot of Asian beauty for a lot cheaper than that. It's just a matter of finding it. It's just a lot harder to find Asian beauty in stores in America. If you have an Asian beauty retailer, then great, you will probably find something similar to these. You can also buy them online. I mean, buying stuff online currently that are coming from Asia is a little more difficult right now. So, I mean, there are pros and cons there. It is quite expensive, but if you do really like these shades and if you like this type of formula, I don't think that you can go wrong with this. And then again, this is just a fun little bonus to mention because it like really caught me off guard. It's so cute and fun and just something that screams summertime glitter to me. So really, really like this one as well for the aesthetic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. I'm so happy to be back to be filming. Please let me know if you guys like these curated lip product videos. You guys know, if you've been here for a while, that I used to do full collection lip swatches. I can't really do that anymore because one, it doesn't make sense financially, honestly. And two, I feel like a lot of people just weren't really into like full collections anymore. If you like these little like compilations of different type of lip products, please let me know in the comments down below. I really like hearing your feedback and hearing your video ideas and everything. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe for more videos like this one. I have an array of different beauty videos. That's what I do here. And if you guys are interested in checking them out, I will leave a video right here that YouTube actually thinks is best for you based on what you have been watching recently. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.